Everyone knows about the Gardner engine, the 2-year waiting list, the Patricroft legend, the engine British truckers refused to drive without. But there was another British diesel that operators swore by, built not by a family firm in Manchester, but by one of the most famous engineering companies on earth. Rolls-Royce, the same name that was on the Spitfire's engine, on the Lancaster bomber, on the Queen's limousine, and from 1966 on British lorries. This is the story of the Rolls-Royce Eagle, how a company synonymous with luxury and aviation built a heavy diesel that Atkinson, Foden, ERF and Scammell all offered within 10 months of its launch. Why operators chose it over Gardner and Cummins in the toughest decade British haulage had ever seen. And how a bankruptcy that almost nobody talks about, followed by a £20 million sale, erased one of this country's finest truck engines from the story it helped write. In 1951, Rolls-Royce began producing diesel engines at Shrewsbury, a decision that signalled a new chapter for a company already famous for aero engines and luxury cars. Shrewsbury was no ordinary factory. 5 years later, in 1956, Rolls-Royce took over the Sentinel Works, a site steeped in British industrial heritage. Now, under the Rolls-Royce banner, the site became the company's base for heavy engine production. This was not a side project or an experiment. Shrewsbury was equipped for serious work, with test rigs, machining halls, and a workforce skilled in building engines to last. From this foundation, Rolls-Royce developed the C range, a family of inline 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder and 8-cylinder diesels. Each shared a common crankcase, bore and stroke, allowing for modular construction and streamlined service. The C range powered railcars, marine vessels and construction equipment across Britain and beyond. Before the Eagle ever turned a truck wheel, Shrewsbury had already established itself as a centre of diesel expertise, laying the groundwork for what would become a defining British heavy truck engine. Subscribe for more stories of the engines that shaped Britain's roads. On the 15th of July, 1966, Rolls-Royce unveiled the Eagle, a heavy-duty diesel engine built for the new demands of British motorway haulage. This was not a reworked industrial motor. The Eagle was designed from the ground up as a road-going powerhouse, carrying the full weight of the Rolls-Royce reputation. At its heart, the Eagle featured a 6-cylinder inline layout with direct injection, the proven formula for balance and efficiency. Buyers could choose between two naturally aspirated versions, rated at 205 brake horsepower and 220 brake horsepower, or a turbocharged unit delivering a formidable 260 brake horsepower. The 205 brake horsepower model produced a peak torque of 560 pound-feet at 2,100 revolutions per minute, giving operators the pulling power needed for the heaviest loads on the fastest roads Britain had ever built. Every Eagle left the factory with a promise as robust as its engineering, a 12-month guarantee, unlimited by mileage that covered every engine sold. For those relying on the Shrewsbury Service Exchange programme, a 6-month warranty backed each reconditioned unit, ensuring that downtime was kept to a minimum and confidence remained high. Rolls-Royce staked its name not only on the engine's performance but on the quality of its aftercare, a clear signal to hauliers that the Eagle was more than a badge. It was a commitment. The Eagle's common crankcase and cylinder block casting allowed truck makers to fit any of the 3 power ratings without reworking their chassis or mounts. This flexibility, combined with the engine's quiet operation and refined manners, set a new standard for motorway-era freight. The Eagle was not just built to meet the needs of the present, it was engineered to carry British transport into the future. Subscribe for more stories of the engines that shaped Britain's roads. Within just 10 months of the Eagle's launch, 4 of Britain's biggest truck builders had added the engine to their catalogues. Atkinson, Foden, ERF and Scammell, names that carried weight in haulage yards and on factory floors, chose to back the newcomer, a move that spoke volumes about the engine's standing. This was not a cautious trial run or a token listing. These companies acted as the gatekeepers of British road transport, and their willingness to offer the Eagle signalled a rare level of trust. For a new engine to move from announcement to mainstream acceptance at this speed was almost unheard of in the conservative world of commercial vehicles. Truck makers did not gamble with their reputations. Each new power unit meant investment in service training, spare parts, and technical support. The decision to offer the Eagle meant these manufacturers believed in the promise of Rolls-Royce engineering and the practical advantages the engine brought: power, refinement, and a support structure built for the demands of round-the-clock haulage. With all 4 builders on board before the first year was out, the Eagle had crossed a threshold. It was no longer just the latest offering from Shrewsbury, it had become a mainstream force in British trucking. Subscribe for more stories of the engines that shaped Britain's roads. For the men and women who ran Britain's haulage fleets in the late 1960s and 1970s, the choice of engine was more than a technical decision. It was a matter of daily survival on the new motorways and container routes. The Eagle offered something that rival engines could not: power on demand for the heaviest loads, delivered with a smoothness that set it apart from the rougher, noisier diesels of the past. On the long climbs out of the Mersey tunnels or the endless gradients of the M62, drivers discovered that the Eagle's 260 brake horsepower turbocharged version could hold its own against anything on the road. The quietness inside the cab was a revelation. Operators who had spent years with the mechanical clatter of older engines found the Eagle refined, almost civilized, even at full throttle. Day after day it proved itself reliable in punishing service, whether running overnight to Glasgow or hauling steel through the Midlands. In a 1974 field test reported by Commercial Motor, Jack Pritchard was among the fleet operators who put the Eagle through its paces for months, confirming its reputation for dependable performance. The engine's support network at Shrewsbury, with its 12-month unlimited mileage guarantee and service exchange program, gave fleet managers extra confidence to keep trucks on the road and earning. Rolls-Royce's own advertising for the Mark III Eagle leaned on the promise of less for your money, fewer breakdowns, less smoke, less noise and lower fuel use, all backed by the prestige of the badge on the grille. For 2 decades, the Eagle stood shoulder to shoulder with Gardner and Cummins in Britain's truck yards. Gardner was the old guard, famed for economy and tradition. Cummins brought American muscle. But the Eagle was the engine that British truckers swore by when they needed strength, refinement, and a name that meant something beyond the numbers. Subscribe for more stories of the engines that shaped Britain's roads. In February 1971, the future of Rolls-Royce hung in the balance. Years of spiralling costs on the RB211 jet engine project had drained company reserves, with losses topping £170 million, twice the original estimate. The board was forced into voluntary receivership, an event that shook British industry to its core. The government stepped in, nationalising the aero engine and defence divisions to protect the nation's strategic interests. But not every part of the company was swept up in the rescue. The oil engine division, including the Shrewsbury diesel works, was carved off from the main business. This separation left the Eagle and its diesel stablemates to chart their own course, cut off from the Rolls-Royce that had built its legend in the air. The Eagle's technical strengths and market reputation could not shield it from the shock of a corporate collapse that began far above the truck yard and factory floor. The oil engine division that had once been the pride of Shrewsbury changed hands in 1983 when Perkins acquired it from Rolls-Royce for £20 million. This sale was more than a financial transaction. It ended the direct link between the Eagle and the company that had built its reputation. Under Perkins, and later through the stewardship of Verity and Caterpillar, the Eagle continued to serve in lorries and industrial machines, but its story became fragmented. Each new owner brought different priorities, and the sense of a single, continuous legacy began to fade. The badge on the rocker cover no longer guaranteed a connection to the engineering culture that had defined the Eagle's early years. As the years passed, the story of the Eagle became harder to trace, its place in British transport history slipping further from view. Today, the Gardner name endures in legend, yet the Eagle's power and quiet confidence still echo where British engineering mattered most, on the open road. In a world obsessed with the obvious champion, the Eagle proves that true legacy isn't always the loudest. Subscribe for more untold stories of British innovation